Yo, what's cracking, folks? Jeremy Vassar here with Practical Painting, and welcome to part 2 of our Painting a Room series. In this video, I'll be showing you how to set up a staging area for all of your supplies. In part 1, we went over the whole supply list, so I'm not going to go over all of that again, but I will link to all the supplies that you see behind me in the show description. One of the main reasons you want to set up a staging area is that it can save you a lot of hassle and potential problems down the road. So if you are painting a bedroom, or any room really, and you have this space, it's really nice to keep all of your materials and supplies in a completely separate area. That way you can do all your paint pours and set up your pans and things like that in a completely separate area. That way you're not tripping over all of your materials and supplies as you try and actually do the work of painting. And so that's something I'm a big stickler for on my own job sites. I really try and have a completely separate area, you know, that's hopefully close by to the room that we're working in, but not actually in the room. It's not fun to be like tripping over empty paint cans or trash bags or any of that stuff as you're just trying to work. So a couple ways to do this. If you are just painting one room, it's really nice to just set up all the stuff in a separate room. The alternative to that is if you are painting a really large room, most of the time it's nice to just set up all the paint materials in the middle of the room and then kind of just work around it. That's another way to do it if you have the space. Another way to do it is if, say, you just bought a house and you're painting the entire interior, it's a really good idea to set up a central staging location in the house. That way you know where all your stuff is. That's where everything kind of comes back to live after you're done using it. And so you're not constantly looking for tools, which is what can eat up a lot of your time. So those are just some caveats about why we do that, and it just keeps everything a lot cleaner. You know where you stand with how much paint you have, what tools are where, and all of that stuff. All right, so I'm going to jump behind the camera and show you guys how I set up my own staging area. This is fairly typical of what I do on most job sites if I have the space. But you know, you can set up yours any way you wish. Just the main point is really getting the supplies and the materials in a convenient location that's hopefully not in the room you're actually painting. So, here we go. All right, so this is my ideal setup for how I like to stage my supplies. That is my dog Gus, so he's our stand-in for where you would be in this scenario. So what I like to do is I like to take 2 drop cloths if I have enough space. These are both 4x12s. I folded them in half, so they're only 6 feet long now, and then I stack them on top of each other. That gives you a nice barrier because you're going to be doing a lot of pouring of paint in this region here. One, it kind of demarcates where all of your materials are going to stay, gives them a nice home, but also it'll protect any flooring that's underneath this region here. Yeah, on the back row, I like stacking the paint on the perimeter, and a lot of times if you buy a lot of paint, it's going to come in boxes, so I'll usually run the boxes along the back row, and then I've got my spackle bucket with my blades and tape, and then trash bags over here, black trash bags, white trash bags. I've got painter's plastic, paper towels, shop vac, fan. I've got my ladders off to the side here. A lot of times it's nice to get those off to the side. And then I always start a trash bag, so that is just going to fill with empty cans, used tape, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, I've got a stack of drop cloths here, caulk, and then kind of in this section is the paint pouring area, which is the most important part. So you want to make sure you have access to all the paint that you're going to be using, paints and primers. I got a lot of primers right in here. So these are the handy paint pails right in here that are all empty and have fresh inserts in them. They're ready to go. I've got brushes back here with some tape and like a Sharpie ready to label anything with that tape. And then I've got my rolling pans here. And then I've got my roller extension poles here as well. And then those are like the roller covers, pan inserts, all that good stuff. So if you're kneeling where Gus is, you can grab rolling pans and put them here, and then grab your paint, pour them in a rolling pans or an edging container or whatever you need. And that way you're just in a nice central location. You've got access to all your stuff. And then what you will constantly happen is all of this will get messed up and disorganized because you're going to be taking it in other rooms and things like that. So what I always end up doing is coming back and cleaning this up and putting all the paint around the perimeter and making sure you have a nice workspace. So that is just generally how I like to set things up. Yours doesn't have to look exactly like this. Main thing is to keep all the paint and that kind of materials around the outside, and then you kind of bring things into this workspace as needed. Alrighty, so that's gonna do it for this video. I hope that was helpful for you guys. And we actually started doing some room prep in part 3, so that's exciting. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can leave those in the comments below. And until next time, y'all take it easy, work smart, and have a good one. Peace.
Amazing.